Hi, this is Reddit Confessions channel. The first thing he noticed wasn't something loud. It was the absence of everything familiar. No tapping of fingers on the kitchen counter. No careless laughter bouncing off the bathroom tiles. No off-key singing during breakfast prep, just silence. A quiet so sharp it felt like it had teeth. For Owen Blake, silence had never been ominous. He was a quiet man, a thoughtful one. But this wasn't peace. This was a vacuum, an absence where his marriage used to be. At first, he rationalized it away. Maybe she's tired. Work's been intense lately. Maybe she just needed space, something temporary. But silence doesn't stay neutral forever. A week passed. Then 2. Then 3. And still, no change. No arguments. No accusations. No slammed doors. No crying, just distance. Cold, deliberate distance. And the silence didn't just sit in the room, it grew legs, followed him down the hall, crawled into their bed, and wrapped itself around his chest at night. "Morning, Kira," he said one day. She stood at the sink stirring tea, her back to him. She didn't turn, didn't blink, didn't even twitch. Owen placed her favorite snack, chocolate-covered almonds, on the coffee table later that evening. A peace offering, a question in edible form. She reached for them absently, popped a few into her mouth, and continued scrolling on her phone. Nothing. Owen lay in bed beside her that night, watching the fan spin above them, each rotation echoing the spin of his own thoughts. Had I said something? Did I forget an anniversary? Was I too distant? Too predictable? He tried to convince himself it was a phase. But the coldness didn't just linger, it settled. And then came the bone-deep realization. This wasn't a mood. This wasn't stress. This was a plan. She was phasing him out. Kira still left for work at 8 a.m. sharp. Still came home, still made dinner, still responded fine when asked how her day was. But she was different. She wore makeup on Tuesdays, she never did before. Her perfume changed. A scent not worn for him. She locked her phone now. Held it like a fragile crystal, always face down, never too far from reach. She didn't just withdraw. She became strategic about it. And Owen, he kept pretending. Until he couldn't. One Saturday morning, Owen woke up to an empty bed. Her keys were gone. Her purse too, but her phone, still there, face down, unlocked. Owen's heart pounded like it hadn't in years. Not with hope, with dread. He picked it up. The screen was open. A chat thread. The name read Ash. He didn't recognize it. The first message at the top, "I can't keep pretending. It's getting harder every day." Owen blinked. He scrolled up. He still thinks we're okay. He has no idea. Honestly, it's hilarious now. And below that a photo. He hesitated. His thumb hovered over it. Then tapped. At first, the image was blurry. But as it sharpened, so did his awareness. Kira in a plush white hotel robe. Smiling. Holding the phone at an angle. Behind her, in the mirror's reflection, a man, shirt open, sitting on the edge of the bed, laughing. Owen dropped the phone. It hit the carpet with a dull thud, but it might as well have exploded. His chest collapsed in on itself. The room tilted. She hadn't just left the marriage. She had mocked it. She hadn't been mourning the relationship. She had been documenting its burial. He sat on the edge of the bed, his breath shallow. Every room in the house suddenly looked unfamiliar, like a museum of a life he once lived. He picked the phone back up, scrolled further. More messages, plans, jokes, longing, but none of it directed at him. She talked about Owen like he was a stray dog she hadn't figured out how to get rid of yet. And then he saw it, just a few more weeks. "Once I have everything in place, I'll tell him. But I don't owe him anything. He made this easy. I made this easy." He clenched his jaw, trying to control the shake in his hands. He thought he had been protecting her peace. He thought he had been giving her space. All he'd really done was give her room to leave. Owen didn't know how long he sat there, staring at the texts. When his legs finally moved, they carried him outside into the pale grey morning. He walked, past familiar homes, past neighbors' watering lawns and Sunday joggers. He walked until he stopped in front of a coffee shop he hadn't entered in years. Inside, the barista, young, tattooed, bright-eyed, smiled, oblivious to the emotional war zone behind his eyes. Black coffee. Large, Owen muttered. He sat by the window, hands around the paper cup, eyes locked on the rain streaking the glass. He opened his contacts, scanned the list, stopped on one name, Leo Callahan. They hadn't spoken in almost 5 years. Kira had never liked Leo, called him reckless, immature, stuck in his 20s, said he was a bad influence. So, Owen cut ties, because he listened to her. And now, Leo was the only person he could think to call. He tapped the screen before he could back out. "Hello?" A voice answered. "Leo. It's Owen." A pause. "Whoa. Hey, man. Are you? I need to talk." Another beat. Then, "Where are you?" Owen glanced at the window. "Corner of Maple and 12th. Brew room calf. I'll be there." Click. Leo arrived in under 10 minutes. Same leather jacket. Same 5 o'clock shadow. But older. Wiser. He slid into the booth opposite Owen without a word. Just nodded. Then, "So, what happened?" Owen didn't sugarcoat. "She's cheating." Leo's face didn't flinch. Just blinked. Exhaled. Been a long time coming. That response stung more than Owen expected. "You knew?" "I suspected. She isolated you, man. Told you I was poison. Had you doubting everyone but her. I figured something was off." Owen stared down into his coffee. "I thought I was making sacrifices for love." "You were," Leo said. "But she wasn't. Back home, the house was dim. Quiet. She wasn't there. Again. But this time, it didn't feel like absence. It felt like freedom." He walked into the bedroom. Her side of the closet was half empty. Drawers open. The photo of their wedding day missing from the knit stand. She hadn't just cheated. She had started packing the life away long ago. Owen grabbed his phone and snapped a picture of the empty drawers, of the bed, of the space where their love used to live. He wasn't documenting grief. He was collecting evidence of survival. Later that night, the front door opened. Footsteps. Keys jingling. Kira appeared in the hallway, makeup faded, purse on her shoulder, pretending nothing had happened. Her eyes widened slightly when she saw him, but not in guilt, in irritation. "You're still up?" Owen stood. Her expression hardened. "Can we not do this now?" He tilted his head. "Do what?" "Talk about how you erased me from our life, while still sharing my bed." She sighed. "I'm exhausted. Not as exhausted as I am from trying to hold together a marriage you'd already abandoned." Kira set her bag down, folded her arms. "I didn't want this to turn into a fight." "You didn't want it to turn into a fight." He laughed bitterly. "You turned our life into a joke. I didn't mean for it to happen this way." "No. Then how did you mean to betray me?" She opened her mouth, closed it. Silence. But Owen wasn't suffocating in it this time. He stepped forward, looked her in the eyes for the first time in months. "Did you ever love me?" he asked. A flicker. Guilt. Sadness. She looked away. "I did. Not I do. I did." And that was the final nail. Owen walked past her, grabbed his keys, and left. No shouting. No slamming doors. Just a quiet, final exhale. By the time the night ended, he wasn't looking for closure. He was building a new beginning. He stayed at Leo's that night. They talked, laughed even, about who Owen used to be, who he could still become. And by sunrise, Owen understood something. He wasn't broken. He wasn't abandoned. He was finally unchained. A week later, he stood in the empty house. The furniture was still there, but everything of hers was gone. Still, the silence didn't hurt anymore. because this time, it was his. Epilogue: Owen moved out 2 months later, took up photography, started going on hikes again, reconnected with people he had once pushed away. And the best part, he started hearing sound again, not noise, not chaos, just life, birds, laughter, music, conversations, and eventually, his own voice, no longer whispering for permission to exist. He never got a full apology from Kira, but he didn't need one, because some stories don't end in revenge or rage. They end with a man walking into the sunlight, finally free from the silence.